Welcome to the Plug Effect Live, connecting budding entrepreneurs to tools, resources, and conversations to stay motivated, find balance, and facilitate growth. Are you plugged in? Let's educate, evolve, elevate.
Hey everybody, we're here live at Connected Studios. I'm sitting here getting connected with Corey Artis II. I am Chanel Williams, your host. I am the CEO and founder of Here Dallas. So welcome in. Thanks for joining us. How you feeling today?
Glad to be here. It's a beautiful day, can't complain.
I know that's right. So tell us about it yourself. Like, what do you do? How did you get started? Just let us know.
Yeah, so I am a founder of a few different companies of a media and brand called Flexivelli. Flexivelli is an acronym. It stands for Focus Your Life on Excellence and Value
Okay.
to Excel Your Life Infinitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also founder of a new organization I'll be launching here pretty soon called the Trailblazers Mastermind Club, as well as a real estate company where I have Airbnbs. I have an event space, and then I also do a lot of financing for a lot of big real estate developments, residential, multifamily units, apartment complexes, and commercial.
Okay, so you do a lot.
I do a lot.
So is that the meaning behind your name, Flex? That's your nickname. So you do a lot. Like, I mean, just you reading off everything you do is a flex. Like you're doing in so many different industries. So is that the meaning behind the name?
Nah. I mean, Flex was a childhood nickname that I got when I was around like 7, 8, somewhere around there. It was given to me like most people nicknames was given to them. My nickname just happened to be cool. Now,
yeah,
I would say back then, like it wasn't like Flex wasn't really like a term.
Mm-hmm.
I think the replacement for it may have been like Stun, like Berman and Cash Money and all them. But Flex was a nickname. There used to be a show called 101.
Yeah.
And people used to say I look like Flex Washington and
I can't unsee that now.
yeah, it just became a thing. Like
okay.
My church, everybody at church and school, and they just stamped me the nickname Flex.
Okay, well, I guess you really are living up to the nickname.
Yes,
so tell us more about Trailblazer. You said that this is a new project that you are launching, or you already launched?
Well, it's basically in motion. It's kind of technically already launched as far as like from an internal standpoint, like my team, my staff, we're preparing, but we haven't really like launched to the public yet to where like we're accepting like members and things of that nature.
Okay. And this will be for Dallas, or would it be local, or?
It's definitely a global organization. Okay. It was I would feel like a vision that God gave to me many years ago that just kind of groomed and developed over time. I don't think I was mature enough or had enough experience to launch it years ago, but like just the state of mind that I'm in now and with me kind of like, choosing to really walk in the purpose that I feel like God has for me, now it's unveiling, but it's a organization for entrepreneurs, not just entrepreneurs though, professionals in general, to really build community of just like-minded individuals, as well as for investors. And it's an exclusive membership club. And we're not for everybody, but we are for some people. And so, really just over the years of everything that I've done in business, I really just want to pour my resources into other people because I just understand the power of connecting with other people. Yeah. And just being in alignment with people that are in alignment with the direction that you're going is really powerful in the things that you can do together.
So, I mean, you mentioned that this was like a vision that you believe God gave you. So do you feel like what you're doing or where you are right now, do you feel like you are walking in your purpose?
Absolutely. I want to get better and better every day. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I still make poor decisions sometimes. But
we human. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do feel like now I am walking for sure in my purpose and, just trying to submit and, ask God to lead the way for me.
Yeah. So can you walk us through that journey? Because it seems like you're more on the happier side of things. Like, you're more on the successful side of things. So for those that are out there that are like just getting started or still struggling to find their purpose, what advice can you give them of like how you can kind of hone in on your in your purpose?
And they ain't always happy neither. I put it like that. Well, I mean, I'm always at peace. I put it like that. Not more so happy all the time, but for sure at peace. But the advice I would give, honestly, is, I'm a spiritual person, so like I believe in God. So I've done a lot of things that were, I didn't necessarily ask God for permission. You know what I'm saying? And then when I started to pray more, but like be intentional in my prayers as well, I think that's what really kind of like let me know what my purpose was. Cause like before, I would say before like 2021, I was just like doing like normal prayers, like you may pray sometimes when you eat, you know what I'm saying, or
Thank you
like
for this food.
yeah,
All right, bless it. All right, amen.
you know what I'm saying, or like something happens, somebody gets sick or something like that, pray, or like before you go to sleep or when you wake up, whatever it may be, just like normal
quick little
prayers. But then when I started to really understand the power of prayer, and then just diving into it and like understanding like prayer is not just for those moments, it's like no, you actually developing a relationship with God. And then also understanding the power of asking too, and just knowing that God wants to give you what you want, but also you got to be prepared for what you ask for too.
All right, you better take us to church. Hello, that's a word out there.
Yeah.
So what impact do you want to have in Dallas with all of the different businesses that you manage, you run, and it seems like, you got momentum going. So you're not stopping. What impact do you plan on having or would like to have in Dallas?
Yeah, I like to look at myself as like a catalyst.
Okay.
Like a seed like that produces other seeds. You know what I'm saying? Like the foundation. Like I really want to uplift other people. You get what I'm saying? It's not really about me and what I can do. Like I know I'm gonna do well, I'm gonna be great, Lord willing, in everything that I do. But like for me it's about like helping those other people become great in their self too, which is one of the reasons why I'm launching the Trailblazers as well. And so that impact is really like just seeing others win, but also like not just about winning from a business standpoint, but personally as well. You know what I'm saying? Like helping people really unlock the potential within themselves, their minds, and their lives for their family. So I would say like being a catalyst is like the impact in short that I'm trying to make for other people.
Do you feel like you had that type of help when you started out in your entrepreneur journey? Like, did you have like mentors or just people pouring into you the way that you're trying to pour into others?
That's a good question. I used to, if you probably would have asked me this question a couple of years ago, I would have said no. But now I do feel like it, because like I think sometimes like we have this like self-made mentality, like I did it by myself, I did it by myself.
I got it out the mud. Yeah.
Exactly. But like when you start walking in the realm of like gratitude, you started to really kind of see like all like the small things that people did do for you to get you to where you at. You get what I'm saying? So like I feel like starting with my family, like my mom is one of my biggest supporters, and my dad as well. You know what I'm saying? And my grandparents, my uncles, my aunties, like my family is definitely has supported me since I was young. I feel like has grown me up to be where I'm at now. Excuse me. And then outside of that, I did start to get mentors, which at the time I didn't think that they were mentors, but now that I'm older, I'm like, they were giving me forms of mentorship, and that absolutely helped me and to get to like, kind of where I'm at now and the mindset that I have.
Did you ever notice or have you noticed that your personal or business relationships have changed? And it could be changed for the better or the worse as you continue to like run your business or just your in the different businesses that you run. Like, do you feel like you don't have enough time to pour into certain relationships, or do you find it like, oh no, it all works out? Or like how do you navigate that space?
Yeah, so business relationship definitely change over time. One person you do a business with, you may not do 5 years, 10 years down the line from now, and then maybe y'all stop and y'all pick back up a couple years later. Everything's in timing, right? And how timing aligns with each other. So yes, that's the answer to your question. What was the second question?
Like your personal relationships.
My personal relationship.
Yeah,
okay.
like you mentioned you're really close to your parents, your
Yeah.
grandparents. So have you noticed like it has your businesses put a strain on the relationships or
Absolutely.
Oh, it has. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I've tied myself up with multiple different businesses, so it does affect like my personal relationships. My mom, she gets on to me all the time just about like, picking up the phone or texting her back the same day if I don't text her back. And it's not like, I don't care or nothing like that. Just be so much going on. But it definitely affects my personal relationships. And I try to just become aware of it. I think the biggest thing is becoming aware, because I used to wasn't as aware of like just other people's feelings. It's not that I didn't care about their feelings, but I just wasn't aware of it and how they may feel or what it may be if I'm not picking up their calls all the time or texting them back immediately. So it has affected it. It has affected my relationships for sure.
How important do you think emotional intelligence is in running a business?
It's super important.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. It's very important, especially if you like the CEO or C-level position of a company, because like basically you're leading, whatever prospective CEO, CMO, CFO, whatever it may be, you're leading that department. So you definitely gotta like be aware of, other people's emotions. And I'm a pretty like blunt guy sometimes. So I've learned my lessons. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be like that to
I
everybody.
can't be.
Everybody can't handle that.
You can't.
Yeah.
And I have to understand. I had to learn like, I can't approach this person how I would approach them. You know what I'm saying? Even if I feel like I'm not wrong in what I'm saying, but the deliverance of it for sure definitely matters, and that comes to the emotion.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that because for me, I am a very direct, blunt person.
Yeah.
And I can really I can say whatever I'm saying, but my intention is never to, be harmful or hurtful, but I'm just telling you what's going on. But understanding everyone's level is not the same as, mine. And some people could become more sensitive. And then it's like whatever I'm trying to say gets lost and it creates confusion and chaos. And yeah, so that's very important. I agree too. So I'm pretty sure you manage a team, all right? So how is that like, because a lot of times people feel like, oh yeah, being a boss is easy, yeah, self-made, but it's you're managing people, you're managing different personalities, different, people have different lives and work styles and everything. So like, how do you navigate that? Like, how do you learn how to manage all of that? And you have several businesses, so you're managing several different people, still trying to manage yourself, which could be a lot. So like, how do you do all of that?
It's an ongoing journey.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a never stopping journey of learning. Experience one, just your personal experience, you got to be in it. I feel like it's one of those things where you just got to do it and see for yourself. The other thing is like, advisors. I got an advisory board that I, meet with, some weekly, some monthly, some quarterly. And I just, I take their advice on how I should go about with my teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a situation with an intern before, and, I was ready to let that person go. And, they kind of changed my perspective on how I could, potentially change the dynamic of that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And so it's definitely hard in the beginning for sure. It gets better over time, but it's hard. Managing a team, especially when like you're a startup too.
Yeah.
Because it's different. Like if you're a corporate company, like you got all the capital. So it's almost like you getting paid market rate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to do your job, so it's a lot more easier. But when you're a startup and like people may not be getting market rate pay or any pay at all, you got to be very strategic and creative in how you manage that team flow and how you guys coexist with each other.
Would you say that's the most challenging part of being an entrepreneur, or would you identify something else?
That is for sure top 5.
Yeah. Okay, give me top 5. Give me top 5.
Top 5 challenges, definitely managing a team. Second I would be is like capital.
Yeah.
That may be number 1.
Yeah.
The third thing I would say is consistency. It could be very easy, but it can also be very hard.
Yeah.
Because you got different distractions, you got so many different things. So consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I would say is structure.
Okay.
And then 5, I would say challenges. I don't think this is necessarily a challenge for me because it really more so comes natural to me as being a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say just getting everybody to see your vision and believe in it.
And how do you do that? Like, what advice can you give people who are like, okay, this is my vision. This is what this is what I believe in, or I believe God gave me this vision. Like, but I'm struggling with trying to translate that to other people to get the support so I can have business partners, or you know what I mean? Like, what advice can you give somebody?
I was about to say I don't know how I can give advice to that, but I do know how to give advice to that. I would say number 1, start off with just writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta number 1, you gotta understand your vision. You gotta be clear.
The Bible saying, write it down, make it plain.
Write it down and make it plain. So write it down and continue to write stuff down. Like, before Trailblazer, I got probably over 100 pages of things written down. Way more than that, but just so much information, writing it down and you getting your thoughts out, and it helps you become more clear. And so vision is about, seeing it and then, being able to explain it to other people. And so I think writing it down is probably the biggest advice, and continuing to write it down and don't stop writing it down.
Yeah.
No matter how big you get or, whatever steps you make in your company.
Are you an introvert or extrovert?
I'm a combination of both.
Okay, so you don't have a problem just connecting with people and sharing oh, okay, this is about my business. You don't have a problem with that.
I would say in a social setting with a lot of people, in terms of just let's say it's a networking scene, I'm probably the person in the room that's gonna be more chill.
That's me. You can find me in the corner.
Yeah.
If I do go.
Yeah.
I would be in the corner this is a lot. Yeah.
I'm more chill. I like, organic style type of conversations.
Yeah.
I'm not really the shooter just about to be all right, I'm about to go talk to 20, 30 people in here. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's a good quality to have. You know what I'm saying? You need people like that around you too that are like that. But I'm more of the chill person. But if we chilling right here, we just I'll spark a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna be yo, I'm about to go talk to.
Yeah, it's some people have a full list, and I'm like, wow, that's and to each his own. Sometimes that really works for some people, and they have the personality, and they got that, but that doesn't work for everybody. And I've learned what works for me, and I think that's important too. For any entrepreneur that's out there, to know what works for you. Just because this worked for one person, that doesn't mean that that's going to be your lane, and then it's not going to work. But you got to kind of know what works for you.
Absolutely.
And put a little sauce on it.
Yep.
And make it your own.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have no problem with talking about my business though.
Okay.
100%.
That's good.
No problem with that.
First starting with your first business, were you full-time entrepreneur, or were you working a full-time job or a part-time job at the same time?
So my first business was my event production company.
Okay.
I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working at Six Flags part-time. But that was and then I did that all through college, and I was full-time.
16?
I was 16.
And so wait, jeez, 16. I was still watching. Probably was watching SpongeBob chilling. And you up here securing your future. Okay.
Yeah.
So 16. So walk me through that. Were you were you just creating events, or doing like balloons? Like what's walk me through that?
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up the startup challenge, because I did have a super big challenge, but I'm resilient, so I overcame it. I'm just the best. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, me and my friends in high school, we were like, out athletes. We were pretty popular in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a high school called City Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're from Miami, but
I be knowing little stuff out here.
All right, cool. So like, if you from Dallas, or you're familiar with Dallas, like City Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville, those are like, top, like, a lot of big black schools in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, and it's known for sports, all three of those cities. So like, we knew everybody. So we decided one day, like, let's throw a party. And so we teamed up with this other group from Skyline.
Okay.
And we were gonna do a party. So we all came together, and we were splitting half with them, and it was like 12 of us splitting the other half. And so like, I like put everybody on like a payment schedule. I think we had to come up with like $1,500. So like $1,500.
At 16, y'all was doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, divided by 10 people, that's what, $150 a piece. So let's just say 150, keep it even. So they had to come up with 150 a piece. People start like BSing around. I'm not gonna lie, like, but it's like, I get it, but like, we had some hustlers. So like, but they was just BSing. They ain't really see the vision. I'll be honest with you. Like, they saw the vision, but when it came to like putting money up for it,
it's like,
they were like, So we ended up having to cancel the party because like, we couldn't come up with a half. So a couple months later, two of my guy friends and two of my lady friends had a meeting with this. It's a guy named Q Taylor. Shout out to Q Taylor. He manages a lot of artists like Tay Money, Young Nation, all them. They had a meeting with him about events, and then they left that meeting and they were like, "Yo, we about to start doing some events." So I'm like, "I want in," and so we put the money together. We did an event, and we blew it out the waters, like over 1,000 people. I couldn't believe it.
Of high school students?
Of high school students. Made over $10,000 that night. Was charging $10 a head. I ain't never counted that much money in my life at that time. Yep. At 16.
I feel like that's a scene in a movie. Like that literally sounds like some type of scene in a movie. A group of friends was like, "Oh, let's make money," and we throw a party, and then all of a sudden, then you come back to school and everybody like, "Oh, like yeah, his party was so dope." And you 16 and you pulling in that?
16. I actually feel like my life is a movie, so it's funny you say that.
Okay.
Seriously though, I got some crazy stories, but yeah, 16, did it, pulled it off, and we kept going from there. I ain't stopped since. As far as events, it's been 13 years now.
So like, what does the events like? Do you have like a party planning team that you coordinate with, or like do you have like other business partners? Like, do they decorate, or it's just like we're throwing something and then like we're throwing this event?
Yeah. So it started off with myself and 3 other people. We were all just coordinating with each other, and then, excuse me, 3 of them, well, 2 out of 3 of them, I'm sorry, 3 out of 4 of them stopped doing events after we graduated high school, and then 1 went off to the Army, but when he came back, we ended up doing some events in Houston because he was out at TSU. But then they left me by myself, and so I just started to coordinate everything myself. But as I got bigger, I'm like, okay, I need help. So like, I would bring in like promoters, and they would, promote and like help come up with creative ideas and stuff like that, strategy. And then as I got bigger, then I brought in like some interns to help with, and staff to help with like the operations of the event, like on staff. Yeah.
You kind of like you like an OG in the event planning.
Yeah, I'm like a young OG in the event planning for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, since you've been in the game for so long, what advice would you give yourself with all the things that you know now?
Yep.
If you could go back in time, what advice would you give your younger self?
Number 1, getting accounted.
Pulling in that type of money, yeah.
Definitely should have had an accountant. I didn't know how to manage money.
Yeah.
I know how to make money, but I didn't know how to manage money. And I didn't really see the importance of it at that age. And then two, definitely have like an attorney. Cause like I did a lot of like, good faith handshake deals, verbal contract deals, and people mess you over if they get a chance to. So I dealt with a lot of that too. So I would say attorney and accountant.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. What would you say, since you've been doing it since 16, what would you say has been like the most successful or rewarding time throughout your entrepreneur journey?
Wow.
Yeah. For you it's probably a while. 16. I need to do better with like I'm really sitting here thinking my past and what was I doing?
Nah, you got your own journey. So you got your own journey.
For sure.
That's a hard question to answer. I would say the most rewarding thing is just like, and this shouldn't be a rewarding thing, but like it always it makes me give gratitude, and it makes me realize what I'm gonna say is people like just giving me my flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that have seen my journey over time, and just people that have seen me when I was 16 all the way up until now, or seen me when I was 25 until now, whatever age it may be. I think it's good to hear those flowers, and also for people to like tell me how it impacted their life too. That's probably the most rewarding part of it, because it's like at the end of the day, like I want to be able to impact people in some type of way, and I think that's a reward for me. Is the people.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest like misconception that people may have of you?
The biggest misconception is probably like, maybe like cocky, or like, flex. Cause flex, it's like
it's in the name.
It's in the name, so it's like like a lot of people they think how you thought, like, oh, cause you out here flexing, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I thought it was from. Yeah.
So like I get that stigma already.
Okay.
So I would say that, and then I would say the second biggest thing is that I'm a promoter.
Yeah.
Like I hate that, but like it's also like it's kind of my fault a little bit, but yeah, because of like I used to show a lot on social media, like
of your personal life or
personal life,
or just
work, everything.
Okay.
And like it probably could have been, since doing events, like, and then I was in nightlife at one point in time. So like, popping bottles all the time. And it's like, the biggest thing about nightlife is women, right? So I'm showing women all the time, because that's what sold to the, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really like, that's not me as in the core.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it
like
the lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So like, I think people call me a promoter. They say people think I'm a DJ. People think I'm a music artist, rapper. I get that all the time.
I get music artist.
Yeah.
I get that vibe.
My last name is Artis, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you were like, yeah,
I used to play the saxophone, and I used to sing.
I was gonna say guitar.
Choir.
Okay, you can sing.
I mean, not no more. Nah, I can't.
It's just like riding a bike. You can sing a little. No.
Nah.
Okay, so this is super random, but I like to ask random questions because I feel like you can learn a little bit more about somebody. So, would you rather have the power to time travel or read minds?
Dang. Woo! Time travel, like go back.
Yeah.
Any year.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
The business side of me is like read minds. The personal side of me is like time travel.
But you only one person.
Dang. I'm gonna say time travel.
Time travel. Okay. Would you go back in like your past, or way, way back, or way, way, way in the future? Like, would you want to like? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Would you change something about your past if you could? Because the past sometimes, it forms who we are today. So would you change something about your past?
Nah.
Okay. Respect it.
I wouldn't change nothing. I'm not, you seen the movie Click?
Yeah, with the
he messed up when he started trying to change.
He messed up. I
He
feel
got
like that movie was
stuff.
like, yeah.
Oh no, that was crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I don't need to change nothing. I'm not trying to change history in that aspect of things.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to like go back way, like
yeah.
back then. Dinosaurs
But then people say too, when you look, if you like get a glimpse at your future, that can kind of impact your present.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go in the future.
You wouldn't.
I think that's a little scary too. You know what I'm saying? Like going to the future, then coming back in the present, you're gonna be like.
Always said like I would love to see the future, but I think for me, I was always thinking like a happier version of the future. But I never thought of it of like I don't know what to tell y'all, but something's gonna happen. Okay, well, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Go ahead and shout out business. How can people get connected with you, follow you, or yeah?
You can connect with me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, at Flexaveli, FLEXAVELI. You can also go shop with me. I have a clothing brand, flexaveli.com. Again, FLEXAVELI. And then if you go to my Instagram page, I have a link tree on there. So you can email me, you can schedule a consultation as well if you would like to. I do business consultations right now, as well as coaching. And yeah.
He does it all, basically. It's a flex. Thank you so much, Corey, for sitting and having a conversation with us. Really appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in with us. Make sure you like and subscribe to Connected Worldwide for more content like this. Stay tuned.